I did it! Hey, man, welcome to the Church of Spencetology podcast. My name is Spence, former co-host of the Chet Buchanan Show on 98.5 KLUC. That is a nice way of saying, I don't have a job. And I'm going to be self-deprecating about my unemployment situation so I don't weep. Because seriously, I'm this close to hanging out in front of the Walgreens asking people for money to get on the bus, but I'm not using that money to get on the bus. I'm using it for my fix. Okay? Every time I talk to somebody about, not having a job and they want to go meet up somewhere, I always let them know, hey, I don't got a job. And what's cool is I've had more drinks and lunches purchased for me over the past couple of weeks that the only thing that goes through my head is that line from Bridesmaids, help me, I'm poor. So, but nonetheless, we're still doing a podcast, man. Because you know why? Because this doesn't pay shit. That's why. Coming up, we are going to talk about Gwyneth Paltrow and how she doesn't think her shit stinks. We are also going to talk about Harry and Meghan and what royal pains in the ass those two are. Plus, an original song of the week called CVS Receipt. All of that is on the way on the Church of Spencetology podcast. But first, a farmer tells a joke to a chicken.
Why did the chicken cross the road? To get to the other side. Oh, thank you. I thought it was kind of funny myself. Alright, the joke wasn't that funny. I mean, it was a good joke, but it wasn't that funny. But thank you for the support.
Is there any doubt in your mind that he's having sex with that chicken? Come on. Just be real. Listen to the laugh of that chicken is scared shitless, man. That chicken is terrified. It's one of two things. Farmer Boy the chicken's going to, if I don't laugh at this joke, Farmer Boy is going to try to have sex with me, or Farmer Boy is going to eat me. One of the two. Coming up, we're going to talk about the royal pains in the ass that are Harry and Meghan. News came down this morning that the Queen has agreed to allow them to split their time between the UK and North America. And I really want to try to understand why we give two shits about the royal family. We'll discuss that in just a second. Right now, Gwyneth Paltrow does not believe that she stinks at all. Everybody has been talking about this. On her website, Goop, you can purchase a scented candle that smells like her lady parts. And a vagina-scented candle on a site called Goop is comedy enough. I want to know how this came about. I picture the Goop boardroom, and it's in a high office building overlooking the city, and Peter in marketing goes, you know what we really need, Gwyneth? We need more of you. We need you to be more vulnerable. They love when you're like that. What I really think would work, and I've checked on this, the Yankee Candle people don't have anything like this. They're focused on lavender and potpourri and whatnot. I'm thinking we create a scented candle, Gwyneth, that smells like your lady garden. And Gwyneth's like, oh, I love it. Or was it the other way around where Gwyneth comes into the board meeting and she goes, I've had a lot of boyfriends over the years and a husband, at least one, maybe two, I don't know. And they all have told me over the years that my lady parts are wonderful and smell amazing. And everybody's kind of like, okay. What do you have in mind, Gwyneth? Why don't we capture that loveliness south of my equator and turn it into a candle? That way, anybody across this great country and world of ours can enjoy the smell of my vagina while they're vacuuming, while they're having intimate times, while they're feeding the kids. And that way I can be a part of them, and the smoke will enter them, and my vagina will be all over them. Is that how it went down? I have some serious... No. I have some serious questions, though. Number one, if I light the Gwyneth Paltrow of a JJ candle, will it make me hungry? I think it's a completely legitimate question. If they start this, is it going to have a companion candle like, Chris Martin's ball sack? Just asking. The fifth grader comes out when things like this come up. I apologize. Is it possible that this will be a new line of celebrity scented candles? Celebrity naughty bit candles. And if that were the case, who would you choose to have burning in your house? Now, obviously Gwyneth's a female, but there could be mandals. We could have mandals made, and you could have Brad Pitt's musk, going through your house if you want. Mandals, write that down. That's good. I'm down. There's a lot of celebrities. I will say this. I love this woman, but I don't believe I want Betty White's vajayjay candle burning in my house. Just a thing. Oh, one more thing. If they didn't name this candle on Goop, again, Gwyneth Paltrow's vajayjay scented candle on Goop, if they didn't name it Pepper's Pot, they missed a huge opportunity, right? Meghan, Harry, royal pains in the ass. We'll talk about them in just a moment. The Church of Spencetology is brought to you by Pier 1's Kinda Going Out of Business sale. Pier 1. The store made famous by women who don't shave their armpits and older ladies who want to fancy up their post-divorce one-bedroom apartments is shutting down half of its stores and passing on the savings to you. Save on Pier 1 classics like overpriced, poorly made end tables from Bali, pretentious Buddha bookends. Pier 1's large collection of smelly candles are priced to move, and rattan, and more rattan, all on sale. You can even save on one of those bowl chairs, with a big round cushion and the wicker frame that nobody actually really buys, but you're at the store and you sit in it because it looks comfortable, but it's actually not all that comfortable. Well, they're on sale too. It's Pier 1's Kinda Going Out of Business sale. Pier 1, the poor man's pottery barn. Thank you so much for listening to the Church of Spencetology podcast. My name is Spence, and I want to talk about this Harry and Meghan thing. First of all, I grew up with a mother who absolutely loves the British monarchy. She got up super late that one morning when Charles and Diana got married years and years ago. She's always been a big fan. She cried when Diana passed. We actually went to England, and outside of, or just in a foyer at Harrods department store, there was a memorial to Diana, and there's a guest book where you could sign, and again, this is 20, 30 years ago, however long it was that Diana, it was 27 years ago, something like that. So I was raised loving the monarchy and loving the kind of idea, because I did the 23andMe, and the results were I'm 99.9% white. No, but for the most, yes, that's true. Varying degrees of white, but pretty much white, like 60% Irish English. So I have an affinity for England, Ireland, the UK, that part of the world. I do. But I never understood the monarchy. I think it's total garbage. These privileged a-holes are raised with a silver spoon up their ass. They never want for anything. They go to the best schools. It's all handed to them. And only because they were happened to hit the lottery of being born into a royal family. And that's all fine and good. It's not my political system. We don't have a monarchy, and I don't pay taxes in the UK and all of that. So it's their thing. They can do what they want. I just don't get it. And what's worse is when these overly privileged asshats have the nerve to complain. It drives me nuts. Meghan Markle, whatever. I watched The Crown. I saw what happened with Wallace Simpson and King Edward, okay? And Wallace Simpson got the blame for it. The Crown is too real. So I don't know if Meghan being an American, or whether Meghan has, a lot of people think that she just controls Harry or whatever. Meghan knew what she was doing when she married a prince. Okay? She knew what she was getting into. She was aware of how the UK media is. She was aware of Harry's mother and how she died. She was aware of all of the scrutiny. She knew it. She knew what was coming. And then she comes out a couple of months ago and she says, well, nobody asked me how I was. Bitch, I don't care how you were. You get to live like 99.99% of the world would like to live. You get to live in the finest palaces, houses, cottages, anywhere you want. You travel wherever you want to go. You don't have to worry about clothes. You don't have to worry about food. You don't have to worry about health insurance. Your life is paved in gold. So while it might suck sometimes, like everybody's life does, don't complain about having a better life than 7 billion other people on the planet. It's ridiculous. So when Harry and Meghan decided that they came out on the 8th and said, much to the royal family's surprise, that they want to live an independent life, free of the public purse, and live independently wealthy. By the way, cool. I'm totally cool with that. I have no problem with it. The monarchy's crap anyway. But if you're going to do it, then you don't get all the trimmings. You're no longer the Duke and Duchess of Sussex. You're just Harry and Meghan. Okay? And go do your thing. You lose all the privilege. You don't get to stay at Frogmore Cottage, which it's funny how they say cottage, and it's just like a really nice, really rich home, you know? You don't get to stay there anymore. That's not your private residence any longer. Now, you can visit your relatives and you can stay with the Queen or your brother or your dad. But get this. Understand, I don't know what Meghan's worth. Harry's worth $30 million. Your boy did some research. He's worth $30 million. So I don't know how much money you need to live independently, but I know you and I would do very well on $30 million GD dollars, right? So he gets his money from his mother's estate, and apparently his father, Prince Charles, also gives him money. Here's some facts about the British monarchy. It's called the Sovereign Grant. In 2019, the Sovereign Grant, that's what pays for the royal family and all their stuff that they have to do. $104 million comes from the Treasury of Great Britain. Okay? That's money that's given to them to run it. Now, before you go, understand that they believe the royal family brings in about $2.4 billion to the UK economy. You know, when I visited, we went to the tower, the Castle Tower, Buckingham Palace. We went to Windsor Castle. We went to all those things, and we paid money. And that's what they say, $720 million a year they get in tourism. So basically, the royal family, because they don't make any decisions politically, they're basically Disneyland for the UK. As far as tourism goes, they bring in a bunch of money, so they kind of pay for themselves in that. The other little side note, Frogmore Cottage, which they were complaining that Harry and Meghan want to do this just after the public paid $3 million to refurbish the house. To understand this, the house is owned by the Crown. Not by the Queen, not by Harry, not by Meghan, not by Charles. It's owned by the Crown. So when Elizabeth passes and it passes on to Charles or to William, it's not really owned by them. It's owned by the country, pretty much. They just get private usage of it that nobody else gets to use, which goes back to the silver spoon up the ass garbage and these people complaining. So it's important that the Queen is worth $530 million. The royal family is worth $88 billion. The Queen does not have to pay taxes on anything, by the way. She has started to after there was a fire at Windsor Castle and the public was mad that they were going to have to pay for it. And so she started paying taxes, but she's not obliged to. So, again, I have no problem with Harry and Meghan doing their own thing and moving to Canada part-time. What I find fascinating, though, because Harry was born into this, but it is a job. You can complain about how bad of a job it is or if it's awful. I mean, he's certainly not cleaning toilets. He's not a barista at Starbucks dealing with your crappy coffee order, okay? But it is a job. And by that job, he gets compensated. Fair enough? So I want you to do this maybe tomorrow. Go into your boss and say, boss, I really like being the vice president of sales here at Acme Corporation. However, I kind of want to strike out on my own a little bit, and I want to keep my title as vice president, but I'm going to live part-time here and work at your company, and I'm going to live half the time in Canada. I'm going to go over there and do some other things, maybe LA. My wife's an actress, so I'm going to go do that. I'm also going to keep the company car you guys pay for. I'm just going to keep it to use it. And all the other stuff as far as traveling and anything you have here at the company that I can use for my own benefit, I'm going to go ahead and use as well. You're fired. So whatever deal they came up with today to allow Harry and Meghan to do their own thing, they're going to pull back from their royal duties. Again, fine. But if they get to keep their Duke and Duchess and all this kind of garbage, pound sand. Honestly, who are these people? They have earned, well, actually, Meghan actually has earned something. She got onto Suits. She was an actress in Hollywood. She actually earned it. Harry, he does some good things, like Diana. Diana was put on a pedestal, and people would say that she did really good things. She fought to get rid of mines and HIV. She did wonderful things upon her pedestal. I know Harry does the Invictus Games, if I'm saying that correctly. And I know that Harry and Meghan want to do some different charitable things. Awesome. But you don't get to have both. So explain this to me. If you're a big supporter of the royal family, why is this okay to you? Why is it okay for birthright privilege, for them to do anything and everything they want, the finest of everything, and then complain about it? They get to run in circles you'll never run into. They get to go places you will never see, all because they were the lucky sperm. That's it. And they were born into that family. Best of luck, Harry and Meghan. I'll never go to England again. A brand new song of the week. It's an original, and this is called CVS Receipt. Thank you, CVS Receipt, for killing off an entire grove of trees, yeah. Is all this paper really necessary for a purchase of tampons and a Diet Pepsi? Oh, CVS Receipt. Oh, CVS Receipt. Thank you, CVS Receipt, for the coupons that I never need, yeah. Like nail clippers, buy one, get one free. I got like 10 pair of nail clippers already. Oh, CVS Receipt. Oh, CVS Receipt. I only bought a bottle of soft soap body wash, but the receipt stretched across the parking lot. They're making them into scarves in Carolina. Got one you can see from space like the Great Wall of China. Oh my God, babe, it's so long. My wife said now I hate her because I'm oddly jealous of a piece of paper. Oh, CVS Receipt. The joke one of my friends wanted me to use was, oh, CVS Receipt song. I thought it would be longer. The other question is, hey, Spence, why don't you mic up the guitar so we can hear the full song? No, I am an absolutely atrocious guitar player. The less guitar you can hear, the better. Hey, thanks so much for listening to the Church of Spencetology podcast. Follow me on all the socials at Spencetology, SPENCETOLOGY. Also, I've got my YouTube page. You might be on it right now. If you are, please subscribe. It's the Church of Spencetology podcast. Thank you so much for taking the time.